wrong for saying that 11 is a lot? Listen, let me write that down now. Hey, everybody, it is Wednesday. And you know what Wednesday is? It's Making Me Matter Wednesday. Are you guys excited about it? I am, and I'm excited for a whole lot of reasons. Hey, Miss B, I see you. It's a good thing to be here. Big shout out to my guy, Norm. Hey, Norm. Good to see you. And shout out to everybody on YouTube that's going to tune in or is tuned in right now. If you have not done so, I would love to see you guys jump on Zoom and, of course, rock out with your girl and be with me for the night as one of my loyalties. And because here's what we do. When you're a loyalty, what you do is you log into Zoom, and 10 minutes before the show is over, you get 60 seconds to say it. That means each person, I'll go ahead and unmute each person that's on the Zoom, and each person gets 60 seconds to say what they are feeling in regard to tonight's show. If you are on Facebook right now, since I'm already on my Facebook Live, holla at your girl. Let me know where you at. What city, what state are you repping? I think I see on Zoom Big Ish. Is that my punky? Wait a minute. So that's a wonderful thing if that's my punky. You guys have no idea. If that's my punky is from Ohio. You can't call him punky. That's what I call him. That's my name for him. I got a nickname for everybody. So that's my peoples right there. So big shout out to Ms. B, who says, good evening to all. I'm here to get down to business. I know that's right. Oh, so I got a couple of things to talk about really quick before we get into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is called When common law is not so common. And we're going to talk about the whole situation where, Punky, it is you. Yay. We're going to talk about the whole situation with DMX's fiance, how she was denied by the courts access to any of his assets or his estate. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that. Hey, Evangelist Vickers, I get to send you a heart. I love you too. Thank you so much for jumping on. That 1 minute meant a lot to me. So thank you so much. Thank you. So real quick, I got to say this to Norm real quick. Did you hear that Scottie Pippen is accusing Phil Jackson of being a racist?
Never heard that.
Yes. Wow. Because of apparently the last shot that won the game, I guess, I don't even remember what year, Scottie wanted to be put in, and I guess he was out. Or Phil took him out, I believe is what, I hope I'm saying it right, and put somebody else in. and the other person made a shot, and he was a white guy. And so now Scotty is saying that Phil Jackson is a racist and has always been. And then he started saying some other things about how Phil Jackson was racist towards Kobe. And I'm like, I've never seen that. Because if that was the case, I don't think, well, you can't use Michael Jordan too much. But for the most part, I think if he was that much of a racist, it would have totally been exposed years ago. So I'm curious to hear more about what Scotty has to say about that. Yes, Fania Golding. Yes, Goldie, your girl is back on the air. Fania says, you back. Yes, Hunty, your girl is back on the air. So I wanted to get that out real quick. I found that very interesting that Scottie Pippen thought that Phil Jackson was a racist. That's very interesting to me. The other thing, there was something else. I should have wrote it down. It was about Scottie Pippen, and it was something else and I can't remember what it was. Ain't that a shame? This what happened when you hit 40 anything. How about that? So if you guys want, I would love to see your face in the place. Definitely jump on Zoom. And you could be one of the loyalties for the night. My buddy Comedian Issues is on. Oh, Lord, I cannot wait to hear what he's going to have to say at the end of the show. He's going to get 60 seconds to say it. Hey, Reese, good to see Sharice James on. It's good to see you, Reese. Regina Black all the way. My girl from Dallas, Texas. Good to see you, Regina. How are you? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So, y'all. Thank you, Lord. Here it is. I wanted to see what you guys thought about Phil Jackson, but then Bill Cosby. I had to hear for myself. What do you guys think about Bill Cosby getting released from jail today? What are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? Do you think like, okay, who cares?
Like talk to you.
Right.
About some of the things that you do in your show.
That part. How about that? What are your thoughts? The man said it himself. He would like to talk to you. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that it's fair that Bill Cosby is out of prison the way he is? Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. We're not going to negate the foundation of why he's in prison. But I do believe that he being out, based on what happened on the prosecution side, everyone, even if you're a murderer, at the end of the day, the courts do whatever they can, as best as they can, to try to offer the defendant a fair trial. Everyone has a right to a fair trial. So if anything is withheld, if anything is done to prevent that person from having a fair trial, they have to throw it out, period. And so all of this, I guess, is coming out. Bianca Miller. Good to see you, Bianca. How are you? Aren't you in Alabama? Do we have Alabama? I can't remember you in Alabama, Tennessee, wherever you are, because I know you in the South somewhere. I'm going to give you some claps, darling. Thanks for jumping on. At the end of the day, and again, I'm not dismissing what he did at all. You know, I have certain thoughts that I can't talk about in regard to his interaction with these women. My thing is, at the end of the day, every last one of these women knows. They all knew Camille has been around from day one. So if I'm just going to stop. No one deserves to be raped, period. Trust me when I tell you that. I'm not for it. Who is for rape? But the one thing I will say is that if he was not given a fair trial, he definitely deserved a fair trial. And now they let him out and said that he can't be tried again. So now Twitter is having a field day. Twitter is having a field day. Good to see you, Veronica. Twitter is having a field day. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see Felicia Rashad's statement. I'm going to see if I can pull it up real quick. Felicia Rashad made a statement about Bill Cosby being released. She says, finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. And that statement set a lot, listen, that statement set a lot of women off. And I think, here's what I think people are missing. She's not dismissing. I don't think she's dismissing or speaking against the women. She's talking about the system. And that's what we have to get into our heads. It's not about the system did this. So if y'all want to get mad, be mad at how the system handled this case. That's what everyone should be mad about. They should be mad about how it was handled. If everything was done the right way, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. But that's all I have to say. That's my 2 cents. That's my story. As my daddy would say, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Big shout out to our sponsor. She really cooks. Have you guys seen her food that we get every week? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you good. That's fine. She really cooks. Norm has had some. What did you have? The turkey?
I had everything she bought.
Norm said he had everything she bought. Let me tell you something. If you have not had anything from Queen Shantae, go to www.shereallycooks.weebly, weebly.com. Get your orders in for July 4th pickup. July 4th order. July 4th order is the deadline. And she will be dropping off at a particular location on July 7th. She's doing turkey wings and beef ribs, macaroni and cheese, peach cobbler, and some banana pudding. Yes, she is. I love me some good food. We gonna eat good. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Ish. And Shakia. And Bianca. What's going on? You guys see who we got with us? We got the loyalties in the building. Miss Bev, you better pray for me. Hey, Precious, God bless you. Good to see you. Yes, Precious says people are so sensitive that they missed that everyone deserves a fair trial. That's my whole issue. We're not negating the act of what he did. Was it wrong? Absolutely, it was wrong. But just like anybody, he deserved a fair trial. And so that's what it gets down to. Miss B says, I have mixed emotions about Mr. Cosby. If he did any of the allegations that he was accused of, I really hope he learned his lesson. Same here. Same here. Same here. And of course, the victims are probably looking at it like he didn't do enough time. I have a lot of questions, but I'm not going to do that tonight. So in the meantime and in between time, it is 7:11. And what we're going to do is get started. So here is what we're talking about tonight. Y'all listen. Y'all ready for this? Y'all loyalties ready? When is common law? When common law is not so common. That's what we're talking about tonight. When common law is not so common. So I'm going to read a couple of things to y'all, okay? I'm going to read a couple of things to y'all. And it's dealing with, DMX, his fiance, Desiree Lindstrom. And I found this on the Jasmine brand, and it says DMX's fiance, Desiree Lindstrom, denied common law wife status and control of his assets. She battles for the late rapper's estate. It continues. And here we go. According to page 6, DMX's fiance, I need y'all to stay with me because I'm going to read through this real quick. According to page 6, DMX's fiance, Desiree Lindstrom, recently filed court paperwork to be declared the late rapper's common law wife. For context, a common law marriage is a term used to describe two people who live as a married couple without being formally married. Right? However, despite being engaged since 2019 and sharing a 5-year-old son, a judge denied Desiree Lindstrom's request. Had Desiree Lindstrom been named DMX's common law wife, she would have immediately acquired primary control of the rapper's estate, including future music earnings. But here, I need y'all to hear this part right here, okay? But because DMX did not leave a will behind, His fiance and numerous adult-aged children are all fighting to be named administrators of the estate. It says, and that was confirmed by a source close to the situation. And then they said this: there is no will from DMX, and that's a big problem. This is what the source close to them is saying. There is no will from DMX, and that's a big problem. This is a difficult situation because there are a number of people vying to be named administrators. His fiancée Desiree tried to muscle in by asking the court to be named his common law wife, which means she would have taken precedence over his children, but the court refused. Y'all listen to that. It said she asked the court if she could be named his common law wife, and they said no. And then it says on top of the siblings' estate battle, they seem to have different views of what it's actually worth. Specifically, his son's estimate, the estate's value is less than $1 million, while his daughter's estimate is lower than $50,000. Yeah, that's you know what the sad part is? They had an amazing tribute, an amazing funeral, and it's just heartbreaking to see that the family has to fight like this over money. I'm going to share something that I learned tonight. I'm going to talk about something I learned tonight. Matter of fact, I'm going to write it down because Lord knows if I don't write it down, it will leave me like I don't know what. So I wrote it down, but there's something I want to share with y'all that even happened to me when I was married. When Dwayne died, I usually would take care of the paperwork. And it's just in me. I was an executive assistant, no lie, for over 20 years. I'm good at being an administrator. My movement, like this, let's get it done. We ain't got time to wait. Let me go ahead and do this. 2 weeks before Dwayne died, I had called, and I wish he was watching. I wish he was watching. Matter of fact, no, I'm not going to tag him. I'm going to keep him low key. I could 2 weeks before Dwayne died, I called my insurance company. At the time, I had State Farm in Dallas. I called my insurance company and said, you know what? I don't know why, but let me just go ahead and add Dwayne to my insurance policy. And he said, Tiff, you already know Dwayne doesn't believe in the whole, because he didn't. Dwayne didn't want multiple policies. Me, I got policies for everything. And Dwayne didn't want that. He was like, no, you know he's not going to do it. And I said, So I said, Dwayne, can I just add you on to this other policy? He said, Tiff, for what? We good. We already got a policy. Sometimes your mind can be in a billion places where you think you have something done and it's really not done. Fast forward 2 weeks from me trying to get Dwayne added to my policy. 2 weeks later, Dwayne dies. Here we are calling the insurance company. My name isn't on anything. How does that happen? Because when situations were going on with Dwayne used to work for ABC Radio and then went into some other things. And at that time when there was a big transition, I put him on mine, as a wife should. Because one thing I'm not going to do ever is make any man that I'm in a relationship with feel less than a man if there's something going on. So when Dwayne's insurance had to be canceled, I added him onto mine. Okay, I had a lot of money coming out of my insurance because Dwayne had health issues. And so with that being said, when Dwayne died, and here's this policy, I couldn't make any decisions. Dwayne's dad was a beneficiary, and Dwayne's son, who I told him he will always forever be my stepson, you know. And so Dwayne's son and my father-in-law, my late father-in-law. And what ended up happening, Dwayne's dad was deemed incompetent because he had dementia. What happens after that? Dwayne, being power of attorney over his father, eliminates Dwayne as power of attorney. The sister kicks in as power of attorney and takes over the policy. Takes over the entire policy. I couldn't do too much of anything. Now, what ended up, and that caused a big, I can't even tell you, because the sister And I have family to vouch for this because my family was with me. It was nothing. Thank God I'm surrounded by family members that know God. And Dwayne's family was good to me. Let me clap them up because I still keep in touch with them. They still tag me. They still hit me up. They inbox every once in a while. I love Dwayne's family. They have been good to me from day one. But that sister and I always had a riff. And so the sister said, well, now that I'm power of attorney, we have to wait for the paperwork for that to officially kick in for 30 days. I said, well, if you think I'm going to wait 30 days to bury Dwayne, you got another thing coming. God will make a way. I won't say where the source came from, but I went to this one place and I told them what was going on. They wrote me a check on the spot for $20,000. And I said to them, what I'll do, I said, thank you. I said, but I know God. And when the enemy sees that you get what you need, all of a sudden they kind of move different. I said, I'm going to tell you what she's going to do. I said this to this person. I said, what she's going to do, the sister's going to do now is, I said, the sister is going to see that I got the money and say, oh, no, we're here to help you. No, it's okay. We're going to make sure we'll do this. And that's exactly what she did. And I turned that $20,000 back in and said, the sister's going to help. Thank you. Everyone else in the family loved on me. They were good. Tiff, if you need help, let us know. Family, you want to see a mess, let somebody die. Steve, oh Lord, Steve, I fragga, Steve. Yeah, you see this? You see their faces? Bianca's shaking her head. Alicia's over there just like nodding her head like, yeah, family. And look, can y'all raise your hand real quick? Let me just zoom in on these loyalties. Can y'all test the mic? I just want a 1, 2, 3 real quick because help me understand. Do you see and notice more mess happens within family when it comes to a funeral? Oh, Alicia, I couldn't hear you, Alicia.
You're going to find something going on.
Uh-oh.
I didn't hear them. Usually they loud.
Oh, you said usually they loud. So, yeah, so that's what. I know you will. So that's what typically happened. So now let's fast forward to DMX, right? DMX dies. Beautiful funeral. 15 children. Beautiful ex-wife. Beautiful fiance. And you mean to tell me the kids are going to fight over this money instead of just saying, you know what? Let's all just come together. Let's sit down. Let's see how much he really has, because now they're putting out his net worth and they're showing his debt. They're showing the bankruptcy. They're showing the what he went to prison for, tax fraud, right? Then they're showing that he owed debt to other properties. They're saying that he was in a hole $1 million and all. And I'm like, this is a shame that this even has to happen. It's a shame that it even has to happen. And so now you got a family divided. You got a family divided. So here's my question. Is it worth living in a common law marriage? Is it worth living in a common law marriage? And if living in a common law, wrong button. If living in a common law, that would have been, that's how, right. And that wouldn't have been good. Living in a common law marriage, is it safe to say, and I just want to know if any of you have ever been engaged, are engaged, whatever. If you're not engaged, I want every last one of us at this time to pretend like we are in a relationship like her. If you're let's pretend like we've been in a relationship for 7 years. Been in a relationship for 7 years. You're now engaged for 2. You're engaged for 2 years. Would you be willing? One, is 7 years, being in a relationship for 7 years, is that too long to be in a relationship with anybody? That's number one. Oh, Bianca shaking her head saying yes. Alicia shaking her head saying yes. Y'all see these loyalties? They saying yes. They're saying that 7 years is too long to be in a relationship. Is it too long to say, should there be a limit? Should people have a limit on their relationship in regard to how long they should be engaged? Look at them. Those loyalties, they ready to rock. Should there be a limit? If I'm with you, if I've been dating you for 7 years, we don't need no long drawn out engagement. That's just me. Now, here's another thing. Y'all ready for this? If you are engaged, don't forget, all of us right now are engaged. We're all engaged right now, 7 years. In a relationship for 7 years, engaged for 2 years. Would you be willing to put your fiance on your life insurance policy as the beneficiary? Would you be willing to make your fiance the power of attorney? Would you be willing to make sure that your fiance has legal rights to your assets? Would you be willing to allow your fiance to, what's the word I'm looking for? Be like the head or the main person, pretty much of your will. That's the power of attorney. I had spoken to a person yesterday. Thank you, Shakia. You didn't even have to. I just saw your text message. Thank you. And for that, I'm praying. As I talk, I'll be praying in my spirit. You already know that. I got a text message from someone yesterday. And I said to him, would you, if you are engaged, would you give your fiance that kind of access? He said no. There was somebody else that came on my live last night, Trevor. I don't know where Trev is. I need Trevor to jump on and be one of the Zoom rebels. You got me stuck. Zoom rebels, to be on one of these loyalties, because I need him to jump on and explain his why for that. But Trevor said no, he would not. So I want to read something to y'all. My friend said, just because she said yes, don't mean the wedding is going to happen. Then he said, wait until after the wedding to do that kind of stuff. And so then Trevor said he wouldn't do it either. So I want to know what you guys think. Portia said yes, she would. Sister, Miss B? Miss B says, I've never believed in common law marriages. Why not ma'am, yes indeed. Why not make it official? If you can be with someone that long, just marry me. What is the problem? You're with them this long. What's wrong with just being married? I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. And you know what he said to me? He said he knows someone who was engaged for 17 years. Oh, I want to push one button so bad, but I know I can't. Evangelist, good to see you, Evangelist Bev. God bless you. How are you? I love you to the core of me, and I'm so glad you jumped on. Thank you. So, I could not be engaged for 17 years. I couldn't be with someone for 17 years and not married to them. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. So I'm looking at these comments. Ms. B says, I'm not interested in being a common law nothing. Now let's just go over something real quick. Right? What is common law marriage? Let's look at that. What is common law marriage? Okay. Common law marriage. Okay, y'all, here it is, right? I got it printed out. So common law marriage is a legal concept that applies to couples who are in a relationship that has the appearance of a marriage, but hasn't been formally sanctioned by the state. A valid common law marriage typically confers both the benefits and obligations of a formal marriage. So if you can get the benefits of a formal marriage, why still live in a common law marriage where you don't get full benefits?
Piece of paper actually means something.
That paper Norm, say that.
Piece of paper actually means something.
The piece of paper actually means something. It means something. Oh, Here's Portia says there are exceptions. Veronica says exactly. And so here's what I learned too, that there's only 11 states that are common law marriage states. And here's why it probably couldn't apply for DMX's fiance, because New York is not a common law state. But it used to be, but it's not anymore. And so the states are Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, New Hampshire. I think Texas was one of them, wasn't it? I want to say Texas. Utah. Well, we know Utah. Utah is a whole lot of everything wrong. Texas. And I want to say I found out that Ohio was. Where's issues? Oklahoma, not Ohio. Here it is. You ready? Colorado, District of Columbia, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Texas, Utah, New Hampshire, and Oklahoma. These are common law states. These are common law states. Oh, D said, Miss Lady D. Hey, D. She says Virginia. I didn't know Virginia was a common law state, so this needs to be, I guess, updated. So here's what makes the common law applicable. It says, 1, you must live together, and the amount of time varies by state. It says you both must have the legal right or capacity to marry, meaning you must be 18 years of age. You both have to be of sound mind. Well, you know, a lot of y'all, I don't know about that sound mind part. But then it says that you both must not be married to someone else. You cannot be married to someone else. Then it says you both must intend to be married. You both must hold yourself out to friends and family as being a married couple, meaning taking the same last name. But how do you take the same last name if there's no paperwork to do that? You see what I'm saying? And then it says, okay, that was, you both must hold yourself out to family and friends. Okay. And so here's my thing. I want to get your thoughts. Let me see. I'm looking at this time. It is 7:30. Let's get ready to rock out. Ms. B says they get full benefits in the sack at, oh, Jesus, in the sack at night, don't they? Let me hush. But Ms. B, you know what the thing is? People do that without even being a common law. People do that in 24 hours. And then Ms. B said it may be recognized or appear to be married, does not offer the full benefits. Absolutely. Even the word says shun the appearance of evil. So there's appearances that may look right. And it's every bit of not the, if it's not the whole thing, if it's a half truth, it's a lie. If you're getting half benefits, you're as good as not having any, because you're missing out on the bigger part. So don't dummy yourself down to settling. And if some of y'all are common law married, God bless you. But when stuff happens, it's going to get real. And I think it's easier when you have that paperwork as if you were legit married. But something I learned today. Oh, you said Virginia isn't. Okay. Let me see. So that limits intimacy as well. No, people are going to do what they want. Let's just be honest. People are going to do what they want sexually. But then you have people that sleep with somebody for one time or one night, and then all of a sudden they think they're one in a whole relationship, and they're not. Or 2, this is somebody that I'm exclusive with because I slept with them. No. And it's not even about the sex part. You got people living together, pretending to be what they're not. And then when all hell breaks loose, like perfect example, if you're in a common law marriage and let's say your spouse is all of a sudden got sick, now in the hospital, what do? I don't think you can carry them on your benefits card. You have to prove that y'all are legally married. So this is just very interesting to me. My heart goes out to DMX's fiance because it seemed like they all got along. But appearances are something. We're learning that, aren't we? Appearances are something. It looked like they all had gotten it together, like everything was good. You saw nothing but love at that funeral. I still have this one song in my head that I still play like crazy. Ultralight Beam by Kanye. That song was so powerful. I literally I felt God when I heard that. It was just, the funeral to me was powerful. I'm not going to lie. A big DMX fan. I loved DMX. I actually inboxed him years ago, about 2 years ago, because I wanted to try to do something with him, with Making Me Matter. And I was a fan. I wasn't a fan because of his luxury, because he didn't display luxury. He displayed life. See, people think that luxury is life. No, he displayed life and what he was dealing with. I loved that one there. Oh, Portia said, I think you can add them to your insurance. So here's the deal. If you can do all this, why not get the paper? If you can do all of this, why not just go ahead and get the paper and make it a legit marriage? I just don't understand it. And now you got this woman who has been there this time that gets along with the ex-wife, so it seems. It looks like the kids get along, and isn't getting a dime. Been there. Didn't get one red penny. Been there. Been there. I told my mother the only reason why I didn't go to my ex-sister-in-law's house is because God's hand will always hit her harder than mine would ever hit. God's hand will hit harder. Let me tell you something about God. You reap what you sow when you do dirt. I don't care what it is. Families that do things maliciously for money, you think that God honors that? God does not. God does not honor that. And I'm a firm believer that if y'all can't put your heads together and figure something out, if y'all was family and rocking the way that y'all were, guess what? Be family in this. I didn't know how much pain comes from finances until I had to bury Dwayne. I feel for this woman. I feel for her. David Green says, we should have learned this from 9/11. Oh, when all common law people wasn't getting full benefits of people's death. Wait a minute. Norm, because you were there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How come? Wait, I don't remember this part. Get out of here. I'm not dealing with you today. Wait. Norm, can you? Oh, something's wrong with the Zoom. That's okay. Okay, so y'all, look, loyalties, y'all put your comments in the chat, and I will gladly read your comments. We'll just do it like that. Put your comments in the chat. Alicia says, not me. Oh, Bianca said never. Alicia said, not me. Those are Republican states. But see, here's the deal. But see, don't do that with me, Alicia. Don't do that. And I'm going to tell you why. Let me get your little face up here. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to tell you why. Because there's a conservative behavior with Republicans, right? So if there's a conservative behavior with Republicans, why is common law marriage acceptable when it's really not? There's different legalities to it. It's really not. What's the word I'm looking for, Norm? It's really not. I don't want to say it's not solidified, but it's really not. If you can't get complete benefits, then it's really not solidified. It's not. It's just like you're dating. You're a grown woman or a grown man that got permission to live with somebody. You was gonna do it anyway. So what? So what? I don't get it. I think it's a sad thing. Somebody said DMX had 15 kids. What was his girlfriend thinking? Oh, Miss B, I'm going to be honest with you. When you're in love, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. That's what the song says. When you're in love with somebody, you think, you know what? I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. I'm sure she wasn't expecting that man to die. She wasn't expecting him to die. That's the only thing I can think of. She probably was not expecting him to die. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have probably did something and maybe had that paperwork in order, and there wouldn't be a family feud about money. Y'all, there's so much that we need to be fighting for outside of money. And you want to know what we could be fighting for? Let's fight as a family as to how we going to put this kid, this one, that one into college. Let's fight as a family as to how to make sure that we can come together to ensure the children are safe or our well-being is safe and things like that. Not money. Money comes, money goes, money can be created. I just look at money differently. I really never trip off of money, whether I have it or not. I'm always like, if I don't have it, I'll go create it. I don't trip off of money. But this is the situation. This girl got a baby, and he got 14 other kids outside of that baby. Oh, Leisha got a comment. Okay. Nick Cannon. Oh, Lord, that man there. Nick Cannon. It's heartbreaking that he wanted a lot of kids. He has, I think, 7 kids now. Different women. Nick Cannon had 4 kids a few months ago. Right, because weren't both of the women pregnant at the same time? And he was only married to Mariah. Now he has 6 kids. And right, and why is this okay? Why is this okay? Why is this okay? So I really want to see what your thoughts are. If you were engaged, would you go ahead and put your fiance as a beneficiary? You know what, Alicia, you have any other comments that you wanted to say? Alicia, I'm going to the chat. You have anything else you want to say? I'm gonna keep going back and forth looking at the chat. So it's heartbreaking. So now the question is, when you are in a relationship this long, when do you just say, let's just do this and just get it over with? When my friend told me yesterday that they knew someone that was married for 17 years, I said, not married, engaged for 17 years. I said, who does that? Norm is over here shaking his head. Who does that? 17 years engaged? I said to him, I said, that's not an engagement. That's hush money. That's like putting a shut up ring. That's what they used to call it. They used to remember that back in the day. They used to say if you get engaged and you just stay engaged forever, that's just a shut up ring, just to keep you quiet. Fragga. Norm, as a man, he just said, in 6 months if you want to be married or not. So if a man knows in 6 months if he wants to get married or not, what's the holdup? Is it trying to get the wedding together? Is it, do I really, really want to spend the rest of my life with this person because you really got to think about this? Let me tell you something. Somebody said, someone said if he didn't marry her after 7 years, why not? Then Miss Lady D says that's nuts. That's nuts. It is 17 years to be engaged to one person. To me, that's almost disrespectful because, but then again, we don't know what agreement they had. I'm learning that about people. What we think is off, people have an agreement. People have, listen, I don't care. I'll sport this ring. We could live together. We could be engaged. I'll sport this ring. We still do what we do. I'll take care of this. You do you. You know what? Every once in a while, you want to tip out? That's fine as long as you come back here. I can't stand that mindset. But there's women that allow that. There's women that allow it, and there's men that do it. And the thing is, they're both wrong. They're both wrong. They're both wrong. Oh, Miss B says, I don't believe DMX intended to marry her. If so, he would have done so. Really? Miss B, what makes you think? You know what, Norm, what's the phone number? I can't remember the number offhand. 646-233-1302. Miss B, I want you to call up here. Uh-oh. If you get a chance, I want you to call up here. Oh. I want you to call because here's my thing. What makes you think he didn't intend to marry her? There's people that are engaged for up to 2 years. It's the truth. When I was engaged, I got engaged. Dwayne proposed to me in 2006. Matter of fact, it was February 17th, which is Michael Jordan's birthday. February 17th, 2006, Dwayne proposed to me. And we got married November 10th, 2007. So a year later, a little over, what's that, like a year and a half almost? About a year and change is when we got married. So that's about right, because weddings, depending on the size that you want the wedding to be, how elaborate you may want it to be, weddings take time. Weddings cost money. Weddings are not cheap. Cars are not cheap. Limos are expensive based on the hour and the kind of limo you're getting. The gowns are not cheap. I think we paid $1,500, I think, for my invitations. If I stand corrected, so money came out. So maybe that's the reason why 2 years. I personally think if someone proposed to me today, the rate that I'm at now, listen, let's just get it over with. Let's go right to the pastor's office. We'll do the big wedding later. I've been down that road. Big gown. Now, if I do get engaged, not if, because somebody going to get all this goodness and glory. Somebody going to get all this goodness and glory. When I do get engaged again, if that person wants a big wedding, I'm for it. I'm not that one to say, I'm not going to do another big wedding. If it doesn't have to be, fine. If they want it, fine. It's no big deal. But for the most part, weddings are not cheap. But what could possibly be the reason? If they were together for 7 years, why be allegedly engaged for 2? Why not just get married? Veronica says at this point, Nick is just ridiculous. Woo! Nick is just ridiculous. I wonder what is really on his mind. I don't know if, the sad part is he always said that Mariah was his dream girl.
He's not going to get married again.
He can't.
So he just wanted to have these kids with these different.
Y'all hear that? Norm said he's not going to get married again. So he just wants to have kids with all these different. But why? Why? What's ethical about this? There's nothing. Where's the morale? Where's the respect for the women that were pregnant at the same time? Where now? Here's the thing. Let's just be honest.
In Arab countries all the time. I'm just saying. Let's keep it 100. It's accepted in other countries.
It is accepted in other countries, but we ain't in other countries. I would go ballistic. Do you hear me? If I'm not number one, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I'm giving that person everything, I wish you would get another woman pregnant while I'm with you.
All he's doing is divvying up his inheritance.
Oh, did y'all hear that? I never even thought about that. Norm just said, right, that all he is doing is divvying up his inheritance. Oh my gosh. I would have never thought about that. He's divvying up his inheritance. Why not adopt a child or give it to an adoption agency? Let them do something. Let them grow, do things that way.
He wants his seed.
Norm, I'm not doing this tonight. I'm not doing this. Oh, Portia says, didn't DMX have another baby younger than Exodus? Whoa. Did DMX have another baby younger than Exodus? I thought Exodus was the last baby. I have no idea. Oh, Portia, don't start no stuff, because that I don't know. I genuinely do not know about that. But the one thing I will say is New York is not a common law state. It's been known that they were together for this whole time. So you would think that the courts would grant her that. But I guess the courts can't grant her common law rights when it's no longer a common law state. If she was probably in one of those other states, it might have been different. It might have been different. You know what, Reese? Oh, Reese said, is that the correct number? I might have typed it wrong. Reese, 646-233-1302? Yeah, 646-233-1302. Or Reese, you know what? If she called me, I could just put her on speaker and put it next to the mic. You think he'll hear or no?
Yeah.
Reese, just call me. Reese, Norma's like, we ain't going the hood way.
We gonna fix the issue.
Norm is not having it. Reese, call me. Or what I'll do is I'm going to call you, Reese, because I would love to hear what your thoughts are about this whole thing. I'm calling you right now. Hold on one second. Reese, answer your phone. That's look, Reese, answer. Let's see if we could get her.
Hello.
Hi, Reese.
Hey, Tiff.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay.
I had to call you.
I'm ready.
Because a couple of things came up for me.
Okay.
One is DMX has been struggling for years.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what was happening, like, behind closed doors. We only hear what the media says.
Mm.
But all of the relapsing he was doing,
Mm-hmm.
even when he did say things on the media, at times he didn't seem stable to me.
Right.
He needed healing.
Right.
He was going through things. And that could have been a reason why maybe, she loved him and everything, but it could be a reason why is a hesitation or no movement towards the marriage. I don't know, but it was something. It was something that was going on between them.
You know what, Reese? Now that you say that, weren't they broken up before? And I think they got back together, and he proposed again. There's a video, I think, that he bought her when he was out. They were out, and he got on one knee. I saw the video a while ago, and he proposed to her again. That was the second time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't know what happened. We don't know.
We don't. And it's a struggle when you deal with someone who's a recurring addict, because that is a journey.
Yeah.
That's like a forever journey,
Do you think that if you are a fiance, Reese, is it possible for you to consider adding somebody to your life insurance policy as a beneficiary, because this is the person that you're going to marry and spend the rest of your life with? Is there a possibility you'd make them power of attorney? Is it a possibility you would write all of that stuff out in the will or anything?
It's a no for me, Tiff.
It's a no. Tell me why.
It's a no for me. No, not until the marriage. Just like when you get married, that's when you change your name.
Yes.
That's when you change your driver's license. You put in all the information, and that's when it should be done. At that time, once it's official, you have proof that you're married. That's when you can go ahead and proceed. Because when you change your name and you legally married,
right,
you have to show that marriage license before they would even change it,
right,
on your documents. That, I think, that's the appropriate time to then put your spouse on your policy.
So you're saying don't do it when you're just a fiance. Do it when you're married.
Like we said, some people have been engaged for many years. I have family members. I really think they say they engaged, but I don't think they're getting married. I don't know how many years it's been right now.
They're just comfortable with where they are.
You're married or you're not. They have the money. It's not a financial thing. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think one of them, they're scared. Because if you look at other couples, you look at other marriages, you look at statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, they just not feeling it. They not feeling all of that.
Marriage is not a bad thing. But if you've been with somebody, and Reese, let me know if you think I'm off. If you've been with somebody long enough to play husband and wife, why not just get married?
Exactly. But you still have people who have that fear of the other person changing once they get that paper. And that's just a reality of it.
Reese, I'm going to share something with y'all. Something that I learned tonight. Norman's over here laughing. Let me tell you something. Reese, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, don't hang up. Something that I learned tonight. I learned 2 words that I have never heard in my life. And I am curious to know if anybody else has heard this term before. This term, my dear darlings, is called equitable interest. Reese, you ever heard of that before?
Equitable, I didn't hear the second word.
Interest. Ever heard of it?
What is that?
Girl, I said the same thing. And when I found out, I almost died, had a heart attack, passed out. My mouth dropped. Do you hear me? Reese, Norm, can you help me explain the definition of equitable interest, please? Norm's about to get on the mic because I have got to. Oh, hey, Beebs. Bianca's on here. My girl, Beebs. Beebs said if he didn't have any insurance or will with 14 children. Then she said, if I have children with you, add me to the policy or at least leave it to my children. I agree with that 100%. If I have kids with you, at least have the kids on something. I'm with you on that. Right.
Definitely.
So check this out. Norm, explain equitable insurance.
Equitable interest.
Interest.
Is basically saying if you live with somebody and y'all been living together, you don't have to be married or not. If you bought anything to increase the value to that house, it could be a TV, you could buy some blinds, anything, whatever. That person, if y'all break up, that person has some entitlement to your house.
Without being married.
The devil is a liar.
I went through it. This girl, I broke up with her. We was living together, and so she got mad and we broke up, whatever like that. And she took me to court, and the judge said she was entitled to equitable interest. So they was trying to make me sell my house that's been in my family for 30-something years and give her half. And we were only...
It wasn't just what you bought together. It was just in general that she was entitled to it.
She bought it. She bought a TV. She bought this to make enhancements on the house. If you buy blinds for windows, that's making an enhancement on the house.
Wow.
So that's considered in the state of New Jersey is considered equitable interest. So basically, I almost lost my house because she was being vindictive, but the judge felt kind of bad because the house has been in my family for 30 years. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to make this man sell his house. So what I had to do before I left the court, I had to give her $6,000. I had to cut her a $6,000 check.
That don't make no sense.
And she could not come back to the house to get anything that belongs. So that if she bought a TV or whatever blinds or whatever the case may be, she couldn't come back. But I almost had to sell the house for its full value and give her half.
Reese, and mind you, this is not somebody that he was married to. So the courts
equitable interest. Learn about it.
Equitable interest felt it necessary for him to pay her $6,000, and it wasn't somebody he was even married to. So now what?
But that's the thing. Once you live together, now it becomes a situation because if you don't stay together, because you're living like you married, but you're not. But actually, if the person is putting their money into it, putting their like you buying things together, not necessarily one person buying. So let's say something you bought together, not something you bought on your own.
Right.
Something you bought together, it becomes an iffy thing because the other person, it has just as much right to it. So you.
But Reese, did you hear what he just said? He just said that she even got his truck. His truck ain't had nothing to do with her.
That's a mess.
Well, so why would the courts even grant her? Alicia's over there shaking her, nodding her head. Reese, I'm going to read Alicia's statement. I appreciate you calling in, Reese. Thank you. Love you, Reese.
Love you too.
Bye. Let's see what Alicia says. Alicia, that's my girl over there. And I keep forgetting my Post-its during the week. Get it, Alicia? Hey, hey, hey. So you said that it's true. A friend of yours, it says a friend of mine was with his girlfriend for 6 years and he never let her pay any bills or buy anything for his house because of exactly what Norm said. Facts. Wow. Yep. So she was just living there and he wouldn't let her pay anything because if they broke up, she would have been entitled to something. That's a mess. And that's real. It really bothers me that the system sees that. I could see, you know what? Let's just be done. You take yours, I'll take mine. Let's be out. You go your way, I'll go my way. And look, Bianca says here, that's why you live in your own place. Beebs, you better say that. Where's these claps? How about that? You are 100% right. 100% right. Precious says, I'll take gift receipts for $500, please. Right. Oh, Bianca said, did she make repairs, upgrades, or utilities? No, she didn't do repairs. She did what? Blinds and
she had mail come to the house.
Mail coming to the house.
She have in her name? Did she have anything in her name? No.
Mail, I think you said, what was it? Mail coming to the house. But no utilities were in her name. So I guess, you know what? This is a learning experience. I've never even heard of, how do you say it again? Equitable interest. Never heard of equitable interest until tonight. This thing has truly messed me up. Well, it won't be a mess up for me because I'm not living with nobody until I get married. And so that's not going, they ain't going to snatch nothing. Period. And I just wouldn't do it anyway. Not going to live with anybody unless I'm married.
Yeah, don't share your name on the deed.
If Norm said don't share your name on a deed.
Not unless y'all married.
Not unless y'all are married. Well, I guess we all got something to kind of like think about because I think we underestimate the power of the state. Even in something that like this, you would never think that a breakup between two people that are not even married, that person is still entitled. Oh, Lord. Yeah, right. I'm looking like, wait a minute. Right. I need a part two to this. So, Bev, I'm going to read yours real quick and we get ready to close out. Ms. B says that young lady probably didn't care about the money. She was being trifling. Wow. She's crazy as Veronica. Crazy as Veronica. Oh, wait. What young lady was probably didn't care about the money? Who?
She probably talking about my situation.
Oh, listen. She was probably right. She just wanted to try to make you miserable.
Didn't work.
Women do it. Women do whatever they can. And now I'm learning men do it too.
And kissing my mama in the courtroom.
Kissed his mother in the courtroom. Leisha, you hear this? In the courtroom at the time of court.
And my mother said, get out of here with that Judas kiss.
His mother said the girl kissed the mother in the courtroom, and the mother said, get out of here with that Judas kiss. Big kudos to your mom for that. How about that? Right. How about that? Veronica says, what? And that's legal in New Jersey? I think it's time for me to relocate. Hunty, don't talk to me about relocating. I've been trying to get to Texas on the DL, but it's not going to happen. I got to stay in the will of God. But anyway, thank you guys so so much for jumping on. Y'all see how I just be acting like I'm at home playing with straws and stuffing tissue and things and everything like that. God bless y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to have to do a part 2 one day is about this common law thing. I'm not for it. And whoever's in it, God bless you. What works for you, I can't judge you. But I just think it's wiser to solidify the deal and get that paper. Okay, look at Bianca. She says, I want my invest back. She has to move and now buy all new stuff. I need my money. Don't make me scream. Beebs, I get it. I get it. Well, y'all, God bless you. God keep you. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to see you next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Y'all wouldn't do nothing with that information. Malicious. Because y'all know that information now. Maybe I shouldn't have said nothing.
How many women gonna be walking through their house? Norm. Look, Norm about to get y'all. Wait.
Don't y'all be doing nothing malicious with that information. I shouldn't have said nothing.
Norm.
Don't y'all put no man through hell because of that situation.
They gonna be walking through the house like, he lived here and we did what? This is what he did? Okay, you know what? I can charge him for this. I can charge him for that. Let me go ahead and see what we can do.
You got a crack in your steps. Let me get your steps fixed.
Right. Listen, Norm. Y'all don't be messy. Don't be a messy Melissa. Don't be a messy Melissa. Thank you, Creisha. Thank you so much. She said, great show, Tiff. Thank you so much, Creisha. Listen, I could talk about relationships all day. My heart genuinely hurts for DMX's fiance. You know, genuinely hurts. We got to keep her uplifted in prayer. I pray that the family works this thing out. I pray that they work it out. And in the meantime and in between time, I will see you guys next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, Alicia. Wait, what's Alicia doing sign language? Oh, my Post-its? What am I texting? Oh, close out the show with Tina Marie. The devil is a liar. Oh, no. We ain't doing that. Oh. Y'all see how she started? Close out the show with Tina Marie. She knows I know. And I don't care what nobody says because she just aggravated me with that. Tina Marie cannot sing. Period.
Time's up.
Have a good night, guys. See you next week. She can't sing.